Hello and welcome to the Nerdy Things with Brendan channel. Today we are discussing the differences between Darkly Dreaming Dexter and Season 1 of Dexter. The first Dexter book, Darkly Dreaming Dexter, inspired the first season, but there are some major changes to the characters and the plot. We'll first start with Dexter himself. Dexter does not have an inner monologue where he's talking to Harry, however he still does abide by Harry's code. He's still a killer and a blood spatter analyst. He's still adopted. However, the Dark Passenger is more of an actual entity inside of him rather than just like his own thoughts. Next, we have Deborah. In the book, she's called Debra. In the show, she's Debra. She's still the daughter of Harry and Dexter's adopted sister. She still uses Dexter for hunches, and she still works in Vice and wants to move to Homicide. However, in the book, she does not date Brian, aka Rudy, and she might curse less in the book than she does in the show. Next, we have Rita Bennett. She's still dating Dexter in the book, and she's still the mom of Cody and Aster. However, she's not in the book much. The TV show uses her a lot more. There's also no Paul subplot, however, it is hinted at that her and the kids have a dark history with her ex-husband. Next, we have Sergeant Doakes. So in the books, his name is Albert Doakes. The TV show changed his name to James Doakes, which I do prefer. He still dislikes Dexter, he still works in Homicide. He actually doesn't show up much in the first book, though. Next, we have LaGuerta. So in the books, her name is Migdia, I think that's how you say it. The TV show changed it to Maria. In the book, she is attracted to Dexter, which you kind of pick up on a little bit in the first season, and then they kind of drop it. There's also some major changes later, but I'm going to get to that down the road. Then we have Dexter's brother, Brian Moser. Now in the book, he looks just like Dexter, to the point where Dexter sees a video of Brian and believes it to be himself. Now, Brian doesn't use the Rudy identity. He doesn't talk about being Rudy at all. He doesn't try to date Deb. He doesn't try to get close to Dexter. He doesn't situate his murders in a way to try to agitate Dexter. He doesn't use a refrigerated truck, not even an ice truck, like the show, which gives him the name the Tam Miami Butcher or Tam Miami Slasher, not the ice truck killer. Then comes Angel No Relation Batista. Now in the book he calls himself Angel No Relation to emphasize that there's no relationship between him and a Cuban dictator named Fulgencio Batista. I hope I'm saying that right. He actually doesn't show up much in the book, and instead of being a detective, he's actually a lab tech that works with Dexter and Masuka. Now we're going to speed run some other characters that are basically the same. Masuka is pretty much the same as he is in the TV show and the book, so are Cody and Aster. Captain Matthews is basically the same. However, in the book, there is no Harry Morgan. He's mentioned, he's brought up, they think about him from time to time, but there's no like flashbacks or Dexter thinking out loud with Harry Morgan. So now we're going to discuss the plot. Darkly Dreaming Dexter is a pretty short book. It's only about 300 something pages. So to span it out for a full-length TV season, they had to add more killers just to stretch that plot. They also took some elements away, added some other things. But they still find a body at the hockey rink that's been cut up for Dexter to find. And when Dexter sees Brian on the security cameras, Brian actually looks so much like Dexter that Dexter believes it's him subconsciously doing the murders. Now in the TV show, Brian is trying to re-jog Dexter's memory and get him to remember the time they were in the shipping container and their mother was killed. However, in the book, it's a lot different. There's no hotel room soaked in blood that causes Dexter to realize his past. There's no internet exchange between the two guys talking about Barbie. Dexter's real father isn't killed, he's not revealed. Brian doesn't even try to get close to Deb. In the book, there's very little Laura Moser plot. Dexter doesn't really care too much about her or where he came from. He does still use his boat, the Slice of Life, to dispose of dead bodies he's murdered. In both the book and the TV show, there's a severed head that's thrown at Dexter's car while he's driving. Now, in both the TV show and the book, Brian kidnaps Deb to get to Dexter. The difference is, in the book, Brian takes Deb to a shipping container to get Dexter to remember where his mom was murdered, and in the TV show he takes Deb to the Moser home. In both the book and the show, Dexter shows up to save Deb, and Brian gets him to try to kill Deb, but he refuses to. The difference is, in the book, LaGuerta shows up, and she's actually killed by Brian Moser. This is when Deb learns Dexter's secret as a serial killer. Brian lives and gets away, and Dexter doesn't make any effort to hunt him down, he just lets him live. So there you have it, the biggest differences between Dexter Book 1 and Season 1 of Dexter. You got some big ones like LaGuerta dying, Deb finding out that Dex is a serial killer, Brian lives. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and let me know below. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to see a second video like this, let me know as well. I read the second, third, and fourth book so far, and I was thinking about making videos. However, after the first book, it gets very, very different. So let me know if it's something you'd be interested in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.